Welcome back to Boxing Brief on Jigsaw Boxing with John. So today I'm going to talk about Conor Benn. I'm going to talk about his performance against Regis Prograis. I'm going to talk about what I believe is next for him. And at the end, I'm going to give my analysis as a coach and a former fighter about his performance and where I think he can get to moving forward with the rest of his career. So let's talk about the Regis Prograis fight. It was, in my opinion, somewhat underwhelming. The rumours were true regarding Regis Prograis. I believe he had 4 injuries. I think it was ankle, jaw, rib, and right hand that were messed up, in his words. So by that sum of its parts, plus with the fact that he's now 37 and has seen better days. Don't get me wrong, he's been a fantastic fighter in his career, but he's 37 years of age and it catches us all up. Further time is undefeated, as they say. So in my opinion, Conor Benn should have made a little bit more easier work of Regis Prograis and possibly got the stoppage, given the fact he was coming in with 4 injuries and 8 pounds over the highest weight he's ever boxed at. He did all his best work at 135 and 140. Highest ever box is 142, and he came in at 150 for the fight against Conor Benn. So in my opinion, he's massively disadvantaged from all angles, and Conor Benn did seem to make hard work of it. Now, that's not to say that Conor Benn put in a bad performance, because I don't believe he did. I believe he, as a boxer, as a pure boxer, it was one of his best performances. He seemed to have taken a step back from that aggressive, supercharged, all-action style, and he just boxed, and it was good. It was nice to watch. It was good. It was lovely jab, lovely long left hooks coming down the pipe with the backhand, finishing with the left hook, etc., etc. It was good to watch. But given the fact that Regis Prograis is where he is in his career and the state he was in regarding injuries, I think he should have probably gotten rid of him, especially with the weight advantage that Conor Benn has. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. What's next for Conor Benn? In my opinion, again, he's not world level, especially not at 147. I mean, 147 and 154 are absolutely stacked. You got Xander Zayas, you got Boots, you got Josh Kelly. That's up at 154. The welterweights are also super busy. Devin Haney's kicking around them weights. Shakur Stevenson could float up and down between 140 and 147. Conor Benn ain't beating any of them. Conor Benn is not beating any of them. Don't get me wrong, to come from where he's come from, for want of a better phrase, riding on the back of his dad's name, who's a legend, Nigel Benn, riding on the back of his dad's name to come to where he's got to and make the money that he's made and achieve the star power and the public imagination like he has is, it's unheard of in a way. It's unheard of since the Hatton days, really, the kind of following that he's got. But he isn't at the level of Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. You've heard him shouting for Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia flattens him. Ryan Garcia flattens him. He's too fast. He's too sharp. He hits too hard. Conor Benn taking that step in with that, bringing that right leg forward and squaring up to throw that right hand. He'll do that 3 or 4 times against Ryan Garcia, and he'll just time him with that check left hook, which he's got down to a T. And that's the beginning of the end for Conor Benn, because of the speed and the whip and the snap and the power that Ryan Garcia has got in that shot. Where should he go next, though? That's the opinion. Sorry, that's the point we should be talking about. Where does he go next? He can't go backwards now. He can't go backwards in terms of caliber of opponent. He couldn't say go down now and box for a British title or European title. You guys are all boxing fans who are watching this. This is why I clicked on this video. Thank you, by the way. This is why I clicked on this video. You boxing fans, you know yourself. It's rare to go up to world level, sort of where Ben is now. He's on the world stage at least, then come back down to Commonwealth, European kind of level. It's unheard of. He's got to stay up there now. But who does he go in with? He took the cash against Eubank, the 2 fights against Eubank. Rightly so. He's got kids, he's got a wife, he's got a family to feed. Everyone deserves to make a butty. Everyone deserves a score. But that's put him in a bit of a tricky predicament with regards to where he goes forward with the rest of his career. He can't go backwards. He's got to go forwards. He's got to go up through the levels now. You know, is an old welterweight another option maybe? Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's still knocking about. Conor Benn should make light work of Keith Thurman, but he should have made light work of Regis Prograis, which is so hard to gauge. Which is why he's so hard to gauge. Where is he in his career? Where is he in his ability? Where is he with his style? Where is he? It's such a conundrum, you know. But I think the best thing for him to do is he's just got to go for the big fights. He's got to go for the big fights, and if he's harping on like he is about wanting to win the WBC world title the same as his dad Nigel won, then he's just got to get in with Garcia. I think Garcia will take it because Garcia will see it as a relatively straightforward fight. It's a massive money because Ben's a massive name, especially now he's signed to Zuffa. So there's going to be money on the table there from the Saudi Arabian investment with Turkey Al Sheikh, etc. So he's just got to go for Garcia. He's just got to take his, shoot his shot and just go for Garcia. And if he falls short, it's kind of expected. He's expected to fall short against Ryan Garcia, against, again, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, who could go up. Shakur Stevenson's called him out. Devin Haney's called him out. Ryan Garcia's accepted his offer of the call-out. So that just proves that these superstars in world boxing, definitely in American boxing, but in world boxing, shouting Conor Benn's name, which means he's doing something right. So he's just got to go up, up, up. Take the fights that he wants to take and just try and get that WBC title if that's what he wants so much, because the Zuffa belt ain't worth the leather that it's made of. Not yet. It may be in 5-10 years, because obviously don't forget all the alphabet belts, WBC, WBO, WBA and IBF, they were all non-entities at one point, and they built their credibility, and they built their stable, and they built their roster over time. So maybe in time the Zuffa belt will be worth its salt, but for now it isn't worth anything. No one cares about the Zuffa belt. No one. With regards to from a coach's angle, from a former fighter's angle, with regards to Conor Benn's ability and performance, like I said earlier in the video, it was a good performance against Regis Prograis. It was composed. He's fit. He's strong. He's as fit as a fiddle. He can go and go and go and go. He's a strong guy. He's a well-built guy. He's not particularly big at welterweight, but does he look smaller at welterweight because he's come down from middleweight? Maybe. There's so many rings around Conor Benn's personality, around his career, around his ability. There's so many levels to unwrap. I could sit here and talk to this camera all night about all the different things, but I'm trying to keep it as short and sweet and as simple as I possibly can. So with regards to his abilities as a fighter, would he win a British title? Would he, Ursu is the current British champion. Would he beat him? Would he beat Ursu? I think Ursu would fancy his chances, going off the back of how laboured Conor Benn looked against Regis Prograis. So on that basis, he doesn't beat Ryan Garcia, but his star power puts him in line to fight Ryan Garcia. It's such an enigma. It's a riddle wrapped up in a rhyme, his career, and the way he's gone. He's gone for cash, and who can blame him? Like I said earlier, he's got kids, he's got family, he's got wife, he's got houses, he's got cars, he likes the lavish lifestyle, so he's gone for cash. Fair play, we'd all do it. Me as a former fighter, I'd do it. Somebody offered me to get back in there for 10 million quid. I'd get back in. We all would. But his delusion and his star power far outweighs ability, in my opinion. So let's just see what we'll probably hear something in the next 6 to 8 weeks with regards to Conor Benn's future. There's all other avenues we could go down. What happened in 2022 before the first Eubank fight with the failed tests, and like I say, his entire career is an enigma and a riddle wrapped up in a rhyme. So I'm trying to keep it simple. So performance against Regis Prograis, not bad. Good boxing. Should have made it easier, but he put in the performance that he could. His ability as a fighter, He's good. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's strong. He's fit. He's tenacious. He's brave. He's bravery is a big thing. Bravery is a big thing. You've just got to be willing to throw that shot and then throw the second and third behind it. And if they land, you're a hero. And if they don't land, you get encountered. So you've got to be brave. You've got to be brave to get in the boxing ring full stock, but you've got to be brave to take the chances that Conor Benn takes. And what next? Like I say, he can't go backwards. He can't go British, Commonwealth, European. He's got to stay up on the world stage now. So it's got to be Ryan Garcia. It's got to be Devin Haney. It's got to be Shakur Stevenson. You know, winner of Katarol Giasov, if he wants to stay at welterweight, that's a big fight. He's with Zuffa. It's a ring card. Turkey Al Sheikh's involved. You know, they could, like I say, it's a riddle wrapped up in a rhyme, and we could be here all day. So let me know in the comments what you think about Conor Benn's career so far, what you think about his ability, and where do you think he goes next? Because I've sat here and tied myself in knots trying to think. I've been sat at work today thinking about this video and thinking about what I'm going to talk about. And my brain has done exactly the same as my voice has done for the last 6 or 7 minutes. It's just gone round and round and round in circles about where he goes next. So let's throw it out to the floor and let you guys decide, where does Conor Benn go next? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this and you're just stumbling upon me for the first time, thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much for clicking on. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of May. That gives me about 8 weeks. So if you can help me along the way with that by clicking sub, click that notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload, that would be great. I do boxing tutorials on this channel, as well as talking points, boxing briefs, hot topics, fight previews, fight analysis, everything. I'm just a very broad boxing channel, and I'm always open to having conversations with subscribers and non-subscribers in the comments. I love a debate. I love a conversation. I reply to as many comments as I possibly can. So please get involved down below. Click like, click comment, click subscribe. Let's grow the community. Let's grow the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.